Well, hello there everyone, the Waybacktech here once again with another computer video. Well, maybe not quite a computer video, but it's going to have a lot of computers in it. You see, I'm kind of by myself at the store right now. Hello, gorgeous. And I decided to do a video on where I work. Why not, right? Kill some time. This is my little workstation. I had a wireless keyboard on it, and then I spilled some soda on it. So it's been drying after I washed it. I have yet to test it though, because quite frankly, after 5 or 6 years of using this keyboard, I don't know if I really like it all that much. It's been kind of convenient, but other than that, anyway, using one of these nice Dell keyboards. I really like these keyboards. They're nice, simple. You don't have a ton of multimedia controls. You just have kind of what you need, although I don't really use any of them other than the volume control, and I just love having a volume knob to turn. I love that. But this is a nice keyboard. It's fairly clean. I don't think I put this through the dishwasher, actually. I think I just blew it out a little bit. It really wasn't that bad at all. Kind of hand rubbed it a little bit. So I've got, let's see here. Got a pile of Pentium 4 processors right there. Project processors, as I call them. I've actually got some of these at home, but I've got several. Let's see, yeah. Pentium 4Ds, and of course my camera's not going to focus on that. I do apologize. I'm using the S4, and this focus doesn't work anywhere near as good as my camcorder. Sorry. That was a wasted 2 seconds of video, I guess. But anyway, you gotta trust me. I got three 3.4 gigahertz Pentium 4Ds right here to play with. The rest of them, there's a couple Pentium 4Ds 2.8s. The rest of them are just single core. But I figured those would come in handy for some fun. Might remove the cap on one of those to see what's under it one of these days. My old Altec Lansing speakers, I've had these since about 1997 or so when I got my first computer. And there's the subwoofer down there. I'll tell you what, I have to keep this thing turned way, way down, and even then, it still makes a pretty good thump. So this is my computer case here. This is an AMD Athlon FX 6100. The light ring is a Logitech fluorescent light ring. It came with a fan. I junked the fan years ago because I just bought it for the light ring. I think I paid $7 from Newegg, something like that. It still works, and this computer's on pretty much 24/7. I only shut it down maybe once in a while on the weekends if I remember to. I kept that Thermaltake grill on top of that Thermaltake copper heatsink that I've been running for a while now. It's through several AMD processors, and it's been handling them all pretty good. It's fairly quiet. I kind of like the way that looks. Kind of looks like a giant heater. But even though it's not, but it looks like it. 500 watt Corsair power supply in there. This is the third power supply I've gone through, and the Corsair is what we just happen to have around here, so that's what this thing's rocking now. NVIDIA GeForce 9600. And amazingly, that thing still plays World of Warcraft pretty damn good. This is where my Audigy 2 ZS sound card lives, is in this computer. And I'm running dual monitors. This one I just use to watch TV on pretty much. You know, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, whatever. That's usually what I have on this screen. And over here is where I'm actually doing my productive work. Quotes there, scare quotes. Things like that. You know, it actually doesn't look bad in the camera. It actually looks really good in the camera. But in person, when you get to this viewing angle on this monitor, it's all washed out. And I don't know why it doesn't show up in the camera like that. But I don't know. Anyway. So moving on down the line here, I'm going to take you guys on a tour of the complete computer store here. So this is my kind of personal area right here. Although I work with all the benches, but this is kind of my little workspace here. I keep all kinds of fun stuff around. That's an old mag monitor that I bought probably in 2001, and it does still work perfectly fine. It's got very little time on it, but I'm not a fan of CRTs. So that guy lives here in case we ever need another monitor. Got a couple old Compaq and E-machines down here. The E-machines I kind of hang on to because they're kind of a unique computer in my opinion. You know, E-machine's not around anymore. This is one of the earlier generations of these, and it's in perfectly fine working order, so I see no reason to trash it. The case is in relatively good shape, although there's a little sticker residue right there from something, but other than that, the stickers are in excellent condition on it. Great color to them. Let's see here. I got a whole pile of heat sinks that I've pulled off of various computers. And a Power Mac G4. I do plan on making a video of this computer, although I just need to take it home. But for now, this computer, I do have pretty much everything to it. Original keyboard. I don't have the original mouse or the monitor, but I do have all these other fun little accessories that came with it as well. An external USB CD burner, Zip 650 CD. iOmega Zip 100, which I actually have one of these at home already. And an external USB floppy drive. This is the mouse that came in it, with the computer anyway. But, oh, there. One of my beloved Dell. I'm not sure if that's a Dimension or an Optiplex. Is that a Dimension? No, that's an Optiplex. I like these computers, but I have one at home that I'll be doing a video about. Actually, I got two at home that I'll be doing a video about. This particular one I have at home. I have this exact same one at home, but this one had a good motherboard in it, but the case is scratched up pretty bad. So what I did is I switched motherboards. I put the good motherboard in the good case and basically made one really nice Dell out of two that were kind of so-so. Whole pile of iMacs down there in various non-functioning order in various pieces down there. A box. Another E-machine. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I'm not really a fan of that era of E-machine. HP Hewlett-Packard. This is something I've been keeping stashed. I pulled out of one of our clients' computer rooms. And it's in actually practically brand new condition. I want to say it's a Celeron 600, 633. I think. I'm not sure. But it's all original. It's never been upgraded. Nothing's ever been done to it. So I had been kind of planning on making a video about that, but I just haven't got around to it. I don't know if there's really a point to making a video about it, but hey, it might be kind of interesting. That's one of those HPs you don't see anymore. I got all kinds of fun stuff down here. I got this server that we just took out of commission, and I converted it to a virtual server running on server 2012. And so the hardware's sitting here in this box, and it's actually a dual LGA 771 motherboard. But unfortunately, the motherboard only has PCI Express 8 slots on it. It doesn't have the full-length 16 slots. So I kind of wanted to make a workstation out of that just for shits and giggles, but the lack of being able to shove in a proper video card in it kind of negates the point of turning that into a workstation, unfortunately. So I got my box of spare goodies down there. A lot of that's old AGP cards. Occasionally I'll pull something out of there, so heatsink, network card, things like that. So that's pretty much the tour of my little area here. Oh, before I leave this area, vintage gaming does take place in my area. This is a Gateway E4200 tower. This is a Pentium 2 350, I believe. I put a Plex Store DVD drive in it that I had laying around just because I could. And there's the original drive sitting on top, because I don't want to lose it, because I like to keep these things all original if I can. And as you can see, it's in relatively excellent shape. I do have Gateway 2000 keyboard and mouse and speakers that I've been using with this. Although they're obviously not, I don't think, the original speakers to this computer, but they're Gateway, so I'll use them, right? Here's a fun little Macintosh project right here. Look how dirty these things get, too. Not as filthy as some laptops, like the last one I uploaded, but it's amazing how crap gets down in here, even though you got that aluminum cover. It's amazing how stuff works its way in there. And let's see, the other vintage computer thing I have over here kind of is this old Waybacktech tower. This is kind of an interesting, unique computer in the fact that they don't exist anymore either. And it does actually work. It is fully functional. It is all original as far as I can tell. I might have put that, no, I might have put that sound card in there. I'm not sure. It's a Pentium 2, well, I can't really read it on the camera, but hopefully it came out. I think it's a 350, but I don't remember now. We'll see in the video, right, if it came out. I got some junky cases there. This is the second area over here. Nothing terribly fancy. Got more computers in various stages of disassembly down there. Kind of a graveyard of computers. I got an old iMac right there. Another iMac in various stages of disrepair. And there's a Dell down there. I like these Dells, but you can't do anything with them because they're BTX motherboards. You can't ever upgrade them. They're nice cases, but you really can't do anything with them other than look at them. This is where the last few videos I've done has been shot, because for some reason this particular spot always seems to get the most interesting computers set on it, and I don't know why that is. Such as this one, it has a nicely, freshly broken off hinge, and not to mention that, the hinges actually tore off the base too, I believe. And let me see if I can find that. This one's kind of not overly filthy, but I thought it was tore off. Maybe not. I'm thinking maybe another laptop. But anyway, that's been a pretty common problem recently. These hinges are just shit nowadays. They either break the plastic mounts break off the base, or in this particular, as I drop it, this is what it's supposed to look like. Just those rivets just tore right off of that flimsy metal support there the screen is screwed to. Anyway, moving right along. Another worthless touchscreen laptop, or desktop, I should say. This is the newly, well, maybe not freshly, but newly renovated area. This used to be the area where we had shelving, primarily in storage. Shelving just like that used to exist all along here. And when we did some remodeling, which took away the benches that were along this wall here, I used to have, this store was, on this side of the store, it was originally set up for each one of these spaces to have a technician. When this store was first, everything was put into this building. I don't know, I want to say remodeled, but whatever word fits there. When this area was constructed, each one of these bays was set up for a technician. So we'd have one technician there, one where I'm sitting, and there used to be bays, the exact same bays set up here on that side too. So we have another bay there, another bay back there, and there's two more over here. And each one of these at one point housed a technician. So I'm doing the work of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 technicians, if you want to look at it that way. So that change took place a couple years ago, and instead of losing bench space, I actually gained useful bench space because some of that bench space was being lost. So when we remodeled that, I had them reconfigure those benches, and they put them over here in this U shape. And I also had them put this half-height wall in place so I could put monitors on top of it, and that's worked out quite well. It's been about 2 years now since this was all completed, and so far it's been working pretty damn good. The only thing I wish is that we had all the network jacks moved over here. I wish we could have had maybe one more jack put over here on each side of this half wall, but especially over there, because I have the service PC, as I call that, the service PC hooked up to that wall. And although we do more laptops nowadays than desktops, it still is nice to have an Ethernet jack in case the wireless isn't working or something like that. And you can see we've got the shelving. We had this. Now this part of the shelving did exist, but that part over there did not. So we had them put in a new shelf all the way across there for miscellaneous garbage storage, I guess you'd call it. We got a nice Athlon 64 system sitting up there, which I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but that's another example of vintage computing right there. Cases. The case actually completely slides forward. The faceplate and the sides are all one piece, and you push these buttons here and slide the whole thing forward to get it off. There's some real metal in that case too, but yeah, here's a pile of nice Logitech keyboards that I wish I could use. But I can't because the person that gave them to us didn't have the receivers and their Bluetooth keyboards. So I don't have a Bluetooth receiver on my computer. So one of these days, maybe. As far as I know, they work though. Would anyone like some cookies? So here's another bay over here now. There's the other shot of the wall there. I got 2 printers over here. Another one under the bench there. Stuff back there. Hello. I call him R2D2. So I've got 3 what I call service PCs. Got one here on this corner. Over here. And then that guy right there. And their primary goal in life is to do data recovery, check disk on drives, virus scans on drives, backup users' data onto them, things like that. Occasionally get on eBay or whatever, YouTube maybe on them, things like that. But primarily these are so that you take a customer's computer, pull a hard drive out of it, laptop, desktop, doesn't matter, plug it in. That's why I have these cables stretched out the front, in this case this one, so I can just hot swap the drive into there. Back up the data, do virus scanner on high-range to regenerate bad sectors, data recovery, delete files, clean, whatever you need to do. That's how we do it there. Seems to work out pretty good. Virus removal, I usually do that if pull the hard drive out if I can't get it to the computer to boot up. So I'll pull the hard drive out, do the virus scan as best as I can, and then put it back in the computer and do more virus scans to clean up the registry, things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now. Not a whole lot going on right now. Both of these 2 service machines, this one and the other one, are AMD systems. The other one's an Intel, just hobbled together stuff. But actually, this motherboard and processor was in my system before I upgraded it, and so I dumped all the parts into this one because we needed a 3rd PC. This one in Service PC 2 is running Windows 7. This is actually running the original Windows 7 non-Service Pack 1 version. And it's been so long that it won't even update the Service Pack 1. So that'll have to be taken care of one of these days. This one's actually rocking Windows 8. I got 2 750 gig drives in this one. The other one over there, I've got one 750 in the Service PC 2. That's the one that needs to be upgraded because it's only got a 250 gig hard drive in it. I keep most of my anti-spyware, antivirus programs stored on this computer, and I have the folder shared on the network. So from any computer, I can just get on the network and install ADW Clean, JRT, Rogue Killer, name your poison. It's probably on here. Do it that way. So a lot of times, unfortunately, we get so many computers that even this shelving isn't appropriate to store them, and they end up on the floor. And the overflow ends up over here, and we try to keep the computers, especially the laptops, waiting to be picked up over here. But there's not a whole lot of storage anymore to keep computers. So when people don't pick their stuff up, it becomes a real hassle. Point of sale is all Macintosh, and I'll show you the server here in just a second. You're going to be surprised at what we're running for a point of sale server for the Macintosh system. So let's go back to the server room and I'll show you that. And I'm going to try to wrap this video up here because we're getting to about 21 minutes so far. Take a walk. This is where computers go to die right here. We do have a phone system we need to put in the building. Replace our shitty ass phones that are constantly not picking up the line. And here's another fun area right here. Full of stuff. Got this old compact rack. It's kind of cool. If I had the place to take that home, store it at home and use it, I would, because that's pretty cool. It's on wheels, I think, too. But I don't. This is the shelving we used to have on the other side over there. This exact same shelving. We used to have like 3 or 4 of these over there. All kinds of fun stuff. This is another old computer. I might pull the motherboard out of that because it's a nice Pentium 3 slot 1. It's a fairly nice motherboard because it's got an AGB Pro slot on it. I think it's an Asus board in that computer. There's another iMac for our point of sale. And here's where all the magic takes place. Don't laugh. I know it's a mess. If I could redo this, I would. But I don't have the time or the patience, or do I really care to redo this because it's not my property. I tried to clean this up a couple years ago, and unfortunately people come back here and do stuff, and plus the cables are way too long, so we're just too cheap to buy the appropriate length of cables, so we just use whatever we have, and that's what ends up happening with all that. Our server running 2012, nice and happy. I need to upgrade that too, the hard drives anyway. Nice battery backup, monitor and keyboard for that server. And there is our point of sale server. Yes, folks, that is an old Power Macintosh. $7,300/180. Look at that keyboard. But you know what? This thing, other than when the power goes down, it doesn't ever see a reboot. It's I did have to find a second monitor for this, but it's always on, and it has been probably since it was brand new. I do keep one vintage Mac hidden back here, one that I actually found at a thrift store a number of years ago. And I brought it here to the store because I just didn't really feel like keeping it in my closet anymore. But I might take it home again and do a video about it sometime. It's an old Power PC. Power Macintosh 6500 225. This has actually got the video capture built into it, which is pretty cool. You can see the tuner card right there. It's also got your AV ports right there, which is pretty cool. The other thing that's kind of neat too is that this motherboard, this whole tray is the motherboard, and it just slides right out of the computer. It's got edge connectors on it to plug in for the power supply and the data cables and things like that. So it's pretty neat design. Just take those 2 screws out right there, and just that whole cage just slides out, so that's pretty cool. I don't know what's supposed to go here, but whatever it is, it obviously doesn't matter. I think that was missing when I bought the computer, so anyway, that is a tour. Does anyone want to ride on the horse? I don't know why. Actually, I do know why that's here, because my coworker has a little girl, and she likes to ride that. But not very often, so I'm going to leave you with a horse. Take care, everyone.